It's getting to the point now where it's just like, if he can't fight at the beginning of the year, we got to pull the trigger.
And it's no indictment on him. It's just a matter of.
It's been 2 years. I mean, a lot of people think we're crazy for holding up the title this long, but you know, it's a tough thing to do, to take the title away from somebody. It's hard to do.
If you had to make that call, do you know what you do? Would you just make whoever wins this fight the champ, or would you have another title fight that was like the actual belt? Or...
Well, no, the interim champ would become the champ, and then he would defend the title against whoever was next.
Is there a thought in UFC of raising the purses?
Is there a thought in what?
In UFC of raising the purses is some of the bottom line.
To 41 million?
No, just the respective fighters' purses. You know, starting from the low end. And
yeah, every time there's a new contract negotiation, we're raising a purse.
So guys now are making more, generally speaking, than they were a year.
Every time a fight happens, there's guys making more. Yeah, when a guy wins a fight, he doesn't go backwards; he goes forward. You know, and all this talk, you know, I know I'm going to be hearing this shit forever now because these guys just did it's 41 guaranteed. When this is said and done with pay-per-view, Floyd will make almost $100 million. And you know, that's just.
So you were expecting, you know, because it was like Mayweather and the whole fight was before the fight was about money. You were sort of expecting the guys were going to come up to you and say, you know, these boxing guys are making this much money. What are you guys making?
The boxing guys aren't making that much money. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You got a couple guys. It's always the same thing in boxing. You got a handful of guys that are making the crazy money, and good for them, man. You know, the sport has been around for a long time. But people have to realize, we just started making money in 2007. Do people understand that? We just started making money in 2007. And this is nothing like boxing. It's completely different. We have a league. We go in and open up all these other countries. We spend millions of dollars growing the sport. Money gets invested back into the sport of mixed martial arts here. It doesn't happen in boxing.
Dana, this might sound like a weird question, but it seems like one of the aspects that draws people on Floyd so much is just his money and his lifestyle. Have you ever considered really making like a fight about money? Like, look how much money.
Dana money.
Look how rich St. Pierre is. Look what he's doing on his free time.
Let's face the facts. You know, Floyd Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, not that many people were interested. When he became Money Mayweather, he became this huge personality. I'm in this business. We create these shows to, you know, sell fights and entice people into these characters and do all that stuff. I watched the show and it's just, you know, Floyd knows how to do it. Floyd took this money side, went out, he'll go out on one of the shows and bring a stack of money and buy a car and do all these things. And it's entertaining to people. People, whether they like it or they hate it, they're invested in the fight one way or the other way, whether they want to see Floyd lose or win. He's done a great job at selling himself that way. And it's just, you just can't go out and start throwing money around and say, all right, let's do this. We're going to turn somebody into a money guy. It just is what it is. And this sport is still so young. And there's so much, we're not even sanctioned in New York. We're not even sanctioned in New York. We've just been on Fox for a couple of years. We're talking about doing a $41 million payday. It's crazy.
Dana, have you paid attention to the feedback from fans about the Ultimate Fighter after 3 episodes? Where it seems like Ronda was just this beloved star, and now, and she kind of hinted at some of this, it seems like Misha is gaining a lot of fans, and some people are getting turned off by Ronda because of the friction and how one is being perceived as opposed to the other. Have you started to notice a shift in fan bases?
No, I haven't. I don't know. I signed Ronda Rousey for a reason. That's why at first everybody was saying, oh, I had a crush on her. Yeah, I got a crush. Now you see why I signed Ronda Rousey. It's the fight business, man, and she is the reason women fight in the UFC now.
It seems like this season has been very well received thus far, 3 episodes in, and we'll only really truly know how popular it is by the end. But is it almost surprising that it feels like people are even on the show more interested in the storylines involving the women than the men? That they're such a fresh, you know, coat of paint on all this. And does it make you think that you should do this more seasons, full season with women, other stuff with women?
Well, there aren't enough women to have women every season. But yeah, it's interesting. It's different. And yeah, we hope that would be the case.
Surprising?
No. Once I ended up bringing women in, I don't think anybody's surprised at how the season would go, especially the fights. I mean, the women's fights are always entertaining. They always give 100%, and it just gets better. The season keeps getting better and better and better.
And just a quick thing about the boxing. Of course, you've had your history with the Showtime. Have you changed your stance on them? They've become the king of boxing now. I think there's no doubt about that. Do you change your views on how they are as promoters, as a network? Or are you warming up to them a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if they've become the kings of boxing yet, but I can tell you this. They've done an amazing job of going after HBO, who has been around for 30 plus years, and done what they've done very well. They came in and they took a beating on that first fight, and then this one, I mean, they hit a home run. Every piece of the promotion, from what Floyd did to what Golden Boy did to what Showtime did and what Canelo and his team did, it couldn't have been done any better. It was perfect. It was fun to watch. It was fun to be a part of, and it was fun to see how it all played out. And every one of them, everybody involved in that promotion that made a dime deserves it, because they did a great job.
Did you see any of the executives? Did you have a chance to talk to them?
I did. I bumped into all the executives. I bumped into all my boys, my buddies, and we exchanged pleasantries. And
Did you really?
yeah, we really did. They actually couldn't have been more hospitable and very cool about everything. So it was a fun weekend for me.
And you think there'll ever be a day that a UFC fight is capable of doing 2.7 million pay-per-views?
I hope so. I mean, 13 years ago, people were asking me, do you ever think there'll be a day that the UFC could get back on pay-per-view? Do you ever think there'll be a day the UFC could get on free TV? Do you ever think there'd be a day where you'd be doing it in other countries? And here we are now. So yeah, I'd like to believe that yes, we will.
Is it just the right people? Is it on the right day? Is that all it is?
Like I said, we just started making money in 2007. This thing is still, hey, listen, I'm honored that we're always looked at like, why aren't you paying people $41 million? Why aren't you doing 2.7 million buys? That people feel like we should be at that level is, I guess I'm on. Yeah.
Speaking of pay-per-views, Bellator is having their first pay-per-view. They're saying they're going to charge between $35 and $45. Main event, you know what it is, Tito versus Rampage.
Right.
Eddie Alvarez versus Michael Chandler, King Mo versus Luke. First off, do you think it's worth the money? Second off, will you be buying it? And third off, what do you think of that main event?
So let me put it to you this way. I'll wrap all those questions up in one answer. People don't want to watch it for free on TV right now, and they're charging $35 for it. So, anything's possible, but
You don't even look at this competition as far as the pay-per-view business goes.
no.
What do you think about them signing all the ex-UFC fighters? They said they weren't going to do that, and they signed guys like John Alessio, 0-5 in UFC, Chia Congo. They just signed his headline the card next week.
Yeah. Well, when and I'm not saying this to be, it's just a fact. You start getting desperate when you start losing a lot of money. You start getting desperate and you start throwing shit on the wall and see what's going to stick. They're trying to do whatever they can to try to get some momentum or make some money.
Some people have said that Bjorn's not in charge of it right now. It's Viacom that's calling the shots.
There's no doubt about that. Anybody who thinks it's different is crazy. That's Viacom's company and they're running it. That's why I call it Viacom MMA, because that's what it really is.
What do you think of him taking shots at you and you and Tito and Rampage also at ESPN and something like that? Does it affect, bother you at all or no?
What are they going to talk about? The fight? If Rampage and Tito are on ESPN, what are they going to talk about? The fight? So you guys have lost 9 of your last 10 fight combined. What does this fight mean to you guys? We want to get paid? We want to make some money? We're hoping to sell some pay-per-views? I mean, what else would they say?
I want to ask you one more thing. Michael Chandler, the lightweight champion. Bjorn's promoting as the #1 lightweight in the world. You have Anthony Pettis. I mean, obviously, you would say the same thing if he was your fighter too. But I mean, do you think he's a guy that could potentially step in the UFC and contend for a title at some point?
Well, what's happened to other guys who come over from Bellator and fought in the UFC?
You see Hector Lombard lost a couple fights. Level of competition is different. How about Ben Askren, because you even said that's a guy that you're interested in.
Yeah.
You think he could make some?
You work for Bellator?
No. I don't work for Bellator at all. No.
Dana, just a quick question. You love Toronto. Did you come for the maple syrup, or did you?
No, I love Canada, man, and I love this city a lot. It's beautiful, nice places to stay, nice places to shop, great restaurants. I love it up here.